Welcome to East Coast DNA. We have returning guests today, but as we were just discussing, some of my viewers may not even remember that because they may have joined us after the fact. So, welcome to Hearts of Kin to start off with.
Thank you. Thanks for having us, Darcy.
Good to see you again.
So, Shelly and Danielle, we've had you on, but like we were just saying, it was a while ago. So it was in the very early days of East Coast DNA when I kind of broke off and did a few bonus episodes leading up to Music Nova Scotia having their music week that year. So at that time, you did have a couple singles out and you were already showing very early success. But at that time, you didn't even have an album out yet. So originally I was just going to say like, so what's been happening since you were last on? But like pretty much the entire career of Hearts of Kin has been happening since then.
We were just wee little babies back then.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Do you know what? To be honest with you, as I'm thinking about it right now, I am pretty sure, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I think yours was the very first podcast interview thing that we've ever done.
I think it was.
And we've done a ton of them since then. But my gosh, I remember being super, super nervous.
Yeah. We were like, we have to talk about stuff now.
Oh God. But you were so sweet and so cool. You put us right at ease. So it was a really good experience. But yeah, it was a while ago for sure.
Yeah.
So that album, obviously you had a couple successful singles leading up to it. So it was bound to be a good album anyway, but not just a good album. It was an award-winning album. Like you had a lot of success in the last couple of years.
Yes. You know what?
We're pretty proud of it.
Holy smokes. It's crazy to sit here and to look back at, we've come a long, long way in the last couple of years. And I know the Nova Scotia Music Award for Country Recording of the Year for the debut album, Beautiful Burn, was definitely, I mean, it's the milestone for sure.
Yeah.
And we're so proud of it, Darcy, because Danielle independently produced and recorded it. It's like we did it ourselves, and it's like, wow. So it's kind of an extra sweet bit of recognition for us, and definitely motivated us to keep going. It's like, oh, they like it, let's keep going.
It's like music that comes from our basement can win awards. Let's keep doing that. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's keep doing that.
Yes. Oh, it's been wild for sure.
That seems to be a trend in maybe in our slice of the music scene. It does seem that a lot of the independent artists that I've been interviewing the last few months have been gravitating more towards independent production. So
yes, right.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering too. Like over the last couple of years, aside from having a lot of success with the songs themselves, I know that I myself, even looking back to that earlier interview, like at the time I was solely using a webcam on a laptop, and I have so many different little tricks and gadgets and things that I've developed over the last couple of years. And another example, the title cards going into these episodes, I used to beg, borrow, and I will admit maybe from some people's perspective steal some graphics so I could get the content out there. Over time, getting to know some of the other people out there, I realized that I was doing a disservice to some artists that are behind the media creation, and try to give credit there as much as possible. But when I was looking for something for the last couple episodes I did, and this one itself, I was like, oh, I should go look to see if they have any good press photos on their website. So I was like, oh, wait, I've taken photos of these ladies. And I have them for that purpose. So I went and dug out a couple from ECMA Showcase last year. You were a last minute slot in on the CB Mike stage when things were kind of going a little bit off schedule. There was room to slot you guys in there.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was our first. Was that our first ECB?
That was the year before last. It was.
Oh wow, was it that long ago too? Wow.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Possibly,
who can keep track
possibly
of it?
the year before that.
Yes,
because the CB Mike showcase.
Time warp. It's a time
crazy.
warp.
It's crazy how time flies. It's just
Well,
yeah.
and that's the one thing that I didn't want to do too much reminiscing when you have a brand new single that you're trying to showcase too. So we can definitely reflect on a few things here, but I really want to dig into the new single. So it's out already. Was it February 7th?
7.
The
So
7.
it's just been a few days as of the recording, maybe a little longer by the time people see this. So you have a music video to go with it. The reason I chuckle is because the old interview, I had it playing in the background while I was doing some stuff around my apartment today, just for some reference points.
Mhm.
And at the time, you had one music video.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. We still don't have many more than that. However,
I
yes.
think we have a whopping 3 music
we have
videos.
3 now.
Professional, you know.
Yeah, we got lots of videos, but 3 professional music videos. Yeah, Throwaway World was our very first
Yep.
song and video. And
Yeah.
that will always have a special place in our heart. I love that song. I love that video. And
That
yeah,
one is a
but
precious one for us.
it
yeah.
is. It
We
still
still
is.
play it at every show.
We
I
do.
think we always will.
Love that tune.
Yeah.
Love that
Oh,
tune.
and I did see the CTV spot with Katie Kelly. So
Yes.
quick shout out to Katie. Hi, if you happen to be watching this.
Yes, hi, Katie.
Would they actually had a clip from that video at the during that
Yeah,
spot
they
too?
did.
So
Yeah.
Yes, they
Because
did.
she interviewed us on release day and we had just released the tune and the video,
Yep.
which is
Mhm.
something we've never done before. You know, we've always released our music first and then kind of followed it up with a video. We've been told that's a good strategic thing to do, but we were like, you know what, let's give them the video and the song all together. Boom.
Mhm.
You know, so that's and it's been
Visual
it's,
and audio all at once. Bam.
Yes, and the video for this one is so cool. So we've got 2 beautiful Cape Breton farms that are the backdrop for it, and we did a little bit of video magic because it's supposed to be one farm, but we like the
Mhm.
inside of one barn and the outside of another barn. So with the magic of the camera, it
Yeah.
became one place. But yeah, oh my gosh, there's if you see it, I think it's definitely one for rewatch because of just it's very pleasing to the eyes, I think, with the
cool.
hay and the horses and the hound dogs. And yeah, it's a vibe. It's a vibe. We love it. We love it. Justin Staton, shout out to him. He did a
our buddy
fantastic.
Justin Staton, he killed it with that one.
Yes.
He had a lot of cool ideas and he had a lot of cool input for this one. So
yeah, we'll
definitely
definitely be working with him again. We were so pleased with the product. Yeah, definitely.
I am a big fan of the music video, and as I've acknowledged on a few other episodes, they're not always the most cost-effective way of getting traction for your single. So I appreciate that you're putting the effort in, and it's also contributing to helping some other artists out there, the people that you're collaborating with, are getting an opportunity to flex some muscles there too. So hopefully there's more to come.
Absolutely.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And you know what, just talking about that too and all of the spin-offs, I did just want to give a shout out to CB Mike and the product development program. They partially funded this project for us. So, you know, we're very lucky in Cape Breton to have our own dedicated music cooperative. So yeah, we were really they've been a huge support to us. So really appreciate them you know, throwing a little bit of dough our way to make some music. So
every little bit helps.
it does. It sure does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're definitely a well needed group out there, and I have a lot of respect for everything that they do out there. So
Yes.
definitely a shout out to them as well. I'm wondering now, one single is just out, but it has been 2 years pretty much since you released the album. So with this being a new single that's not from that album, what are the plans for 2025? Is it just more singles, or are you guys sitting on an album there?
Everybody keeps asking us
No,
that.
everybody wants to know.
I would say we're definitely sitting on an album, but
Yeah.
will we release it as an album?
We're
not right away.
Yeah,
no,
we're not quite sure.
Well, and it's only because, you know, it is a lot of work to produce, and well, the way we do it, we are going to continue to produce and record independently. It's been working well for us. We love that, but again, we're also busy wives and mothers and have day jobs, and it takes us a really long time to do things because of, you know, the work-life balance. which I don't think either of us would trade for
No.
anything. We like that. So we were like, you know what? I think you're going to see some singles from Hearts of Kin this year. We've got at least 2 in the works right now. So yeah, you're gonna. And you know what? We might scoop them up into an album down the road. You might see something totally brand new. We're always looking for time to write songs.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
The
a
struggle.
It's the time crunch. It always comes down to it. But you know what? We're pacing ourselves and having a lot of fun doing it. And I think we found the sweet spot of that. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah. Yeah. No pressure.
And speaking of it's kind of work-life balance, but it kind of bleeds the lines a bit when you start talking about family and support and everything. I'm kind of going on a limb because I don't 100% know this, but I have a little bit of a prop here. So, like, this is one of my favorite things that I've ever picked up from a band.
Yes.
Oh, isn't that cool?
Yes.
So you get these little business cards that were floating around out there that are like, what is it, tin or like it's a metal?
It's
Aluminum.
Aluminum business cards.
Yeah.
So, so who's making these?
So that will be my husband, Brent.
Yes. Okay. So there's the limb. I'm back down.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's talk just for a second. Give him a little bit of props because they always say that behind every great man is a great woman.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we might get a little role reversal going on here.
It works both ways.
Yes.
Definitely.
So yeah, let's give him a little props and talk about a little how he fits into the Hearts of Kin camp because he's always there. I've noticed there's a few people on the scene that I have gotten to know over the last couple of years, and there's definitely a few regulars out there that they're like celebrities to me because they're always out at the shows, and he's in that list now.
He will love to hear that.
And is there a bigger music lover?
I don't think you have to come across one. This guy, he loves music.
He bleeds it. Yeah, he does.
Yeah, local music.
Local music. He is long before we were, on the music scene ourselves. He's always been such a huge lover of local music.
Oh,
so he sounds like a great guy to have in our court, right?
Definitely. And he loves making stuff. He even loves going, like, if we're going to a show, if him and I are going out to a show some night, he'll be like, oh, I got to make the artist something cool. So he'll make them like some really cool tumblers or some slate coasters or some very cool things. And everybody always loves. Who doesn't love getting a cool personalized gift, right?
Yes, it's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, and people remember him for that too.
Yeah,
it's cool. Yeah,
definitely.
it's really nice. Love it.
And I know that coming off the single release that you have a big album or a big single release party. When I went back and looked, so your debut album, you had a release party for that was sold out.
Yes.
And now just off the single, having a single release party, you're almost sold out. I know last time I checked it was like 80%, so it's higher than that now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's doing really well. We're very happy.
And you know what? All we really wanted to do was, we've been so busy this year. We have a band and we haven't had a chance to have a lot of bands. We were like, let's have a band show. And so we said, okay, well, we were kind of getting together, doing some rehearsals, and we thought we've got a single coming out in February, single release show. Let's do it. And that's kind of where the idea came from. And the show itself is going to be at one of the coolest new venues in Cape Breton. It's a venue called the Red Farm, not to be confused with the Red Barn, which is a little farther, more rural. This one's just outside of Sydney in Howie Centre. And but it is just that. It is a big, beautiful rustic barn that's kind of been remodeled inside. And oh my gosh, it's a beautiful venue. We're really excited to play there. And it should be a good show. Should be a good show. Yeah. We don't, like I said, we don't do many band shows, but it's something that you're going to see a little more of in 2025. So yeah, we're excited.
I'm loving to hear that. I definitely want to catch some of those performances. It seems to be that 2025 has kicked off like really quickly with like releases and with live performances because I'm starting to feel like every weekend I'm double booked now.
Yes, that's great to have.
It's an amazing problem because I do remember in the early days starting off, I was looking for content. That's where this came from, and now I could just sit back and digest if I wanted to. So it is a wonderful problem to have. Uh,
Well, I think you like us started out during the pandemic years. And that was so
Mhm.
it, but you know what? I feel like, don't you feel like that's the time to do it, because it just, you
Just gonna get better.
start as hard as possible and just get easier from there, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's how I feel
definitely.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Well, I'm wondering if parallels, and I do bring up them a lot when I'm talking to artists, especially people that are independent, and I can see parallels with what I do. But since our careers in this area kind of do have a lot of parallels timeline wise, I find myself now that there has been a few changes that the opportunities are a lot greater, that it's kind of evolved to the point that I mean, I can't do everything I dream of, but I
Yeah.
could do a lot of things that I could have only dreamed of a couple of years ago, and it does afford you the opportunity to kind of pick and choose a little bit. But you've already, like, you've been on the stage already for Cavendish Beach, like you were already over there for one of their performances. Like, is there any, like, that's huge.
Yes.
So, and like with awards, like we talked about Music Nova Scotia, we were talking about like performing at ECMAs. You've already had so many successes early on, and really in our region, you've hit a lot of those goalposts early on. So, what is it that you maybe are aspiring to in the future? Like, you do know what works, you're going to continue to produce things yourselves, and you know what you want to do for doing more live performances here. But is there anything like, is there a Hearts of Kin bucket list?
Yes, of
course.
course. There's a course. There's a heart. So yeah. So thank you. We listen. We're so grateful with the milestones that we've hit already. My gosh, like that. If you know what, I feel like if we stopped today, it'd be like that was a heck of a run, right? But first of all, I will start by saying that within the Atlantic Canada market, there's so we haven't even, honestly. Yes, we played some fantastic shows, but I still feel like we haven't even scraped the surface of the markets that we could reach. The festivals, we've played some fantastic festivals. Cavendish was one of them. The Stan Rogers Folk Festival, Kemp Shore. Oh my goodness, like fantastic. But there are still at least a half a dozen more that are on our wish list, and we're still finalizing our summer schedule. So that'll still remain to see which of those opportunities that we get. But I mean, I hope that we will get invited to play the stages that our dream stages in Atlantic Canada, and beyond that, yes, Canadian tours, and maybe even like European tour. Let's go overseas and let's get a European tour. Let's get a European festival. So I think that traveling the world, if music can help us to do that, I would love to do that. I would love to do that.
That's a good game plan.
So if that's a loose kind of dream,
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah,
it sounds definitely achievable. And kind of another thing that I've noticed, and I don't know yourselves, when I talk about genre on these episodes, and I always say that I don't want to, and I always keep coming back to it, but a lot of people don't like to have a specific genre associated with them. And in the early days of my experience podcasting, a lot of the guests that I would have on didn't want to associate themselves with the label of country, but you were comfortable with that early on because it was a country sound. And I think from the outside, maybe that did afford you some of the early exposures that people knew what they were getting. Because you could say, like, this is the genre that I'm playing. People are like, oh, I know what that is. And I know people that like it. Maybe they'll come out. But the last couple of years, I've noticed that it started being country was always huge. Like the Cavendish Beach Music Festival has been going on for like ever.
yes, yes,
But in the circles of something like content like this format, where I cover so many different genres, uh, I've I've acknowledged that in my early days, I could be quite the music snob, where the music that I liked was good and the music that I didn't necessarily listen to wasn't very good for some
yeah,
reason.
yeah, right.
But with age comes wisdom,
Yeah.
and
That's nice.
I've noticed that it seems like country has a different type of popularity right now. It's it's always been mainstream, but it's bleeding over into all aspects of the mainstream. I don't know
Pop, R and
of
B.
pop star that's not
Totally.
dipping into it. And even like on the independent levels, well, our mutual friend Andre Petitpas has a single coming out too that's also a country single.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I know. I'm like, right.
But it is all around me lately.
Yes.
So have you noticed that as a country duo that things are changing? Like, are you being afforded more opportunities because more people are willing to say we have a country artist this evening at our venue or on our bill?
You know what? That is the first time that anyone has ever asked us that question. And you know what? I'm not sure if that. But it might. Yeah. It might be a part of it. And I think I always find that these conversations surrounding genre are really interesting for those reasons that you already said. Mm-hmm. And I would even say, you know, when we were and still are comfortable calling ourselves a country duo, I think that we are. But I think that if you really listen to our music, it doesn't fit squarely within the mainstream country peg. You know what I mean? I feel like it leans more toward Americana. It's not quite as
maybe some bluesy undertones.
Maybe
for
some
certain
bluesy
tunes.
too. So I feel like it's our spin on country, but we're still, like I said, comfortable enough to call it country.
Yeah, but, giddy up. We like country.
Giddy up. Yeah. I mean, we did the hound dogs and the horses and the hay, so I feel like we're leaning into that.
Pretty country.
But that's a really good question, and I mean, people like what they know. So yes, I think what doesn't hurt if you can say, yeah, country. I feel like personally, if I was to, you know, really, I think we're more Americana. It's a little broader than country, but yeah, like I said, we'll take that. It's kind of like, what do you think we are? I don't know. It's hard. What do the people think we are? It's such a hard thing to, because when I listen to it, I don't even know what genre it is.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm ear blind to it or something, but yeah.
And one thing that's kind of common across a lot of Cape Breton artists is that kind of underlying folky singer-songwriter style.
Yeah.
Where like it's not just the narrative of the lyrics, but in a live performance, and I hope I'm not doing a misjustice for anyone that hasn't had the experience, but I think probably the word I want to use is like the crowd work that performers from the area have. I think it does lean it back into a lot of the traditions that come out of the region. So even subconsciously, like you grew up around people that were storytellers, maybe storytellers first and songwriters second.
Yes.
So I do find that there's an aspect to that, even if you're trying to do a set that's a little tighter with song, even just the incidental dialogue in the microphones back and forth. I noticed that you guys play a lot off the fact that you're sisters and kind of talk back and forth, and you're working the audience into that as well. So I definitely think that's not unique to the region, but I think that Cape Breton has a different little bit of magic that seems to be in there where you almost know that you're watching somebody from Cape Breton, just the way that they work the crowd.
I love that.
I love that too. And we're proud Cape Bretoners for sure. But I think that's a really interesting point too. And I think when you think about the difference between the storytelling is such a big part of it for us. And, you know, the reason that we got into music is because of our father and his influence and his love for John Prine. It was a huge influence, and he's such a storyteller. Mm-hmm. But I think you definitely see that in our shows. You know, we as we're preparing for this band show, we're talking. We're like, we should probably keep not talk so much in between. But we love to. It's like we want to tell them about the story, so we do need to get away from it when it's not like the intimate singer songwriter kind of folky thing.
But that's how people connect.
It's hard.
Tell them about the story so that they're going to be more into it when you play it.
Right. It's like you got to tell them what it's about.
We got to make them shorter, I guess. Just little blurbs.
Yes.
Keep the show rolling.
We do.
It's the TikTok generation, I guess. You got to kind of worry about that a little bit too. It's the 30 seconds is very.
Just
very tight.
Catch him. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so true. But that's an interesting point, though, and you're right. Yeah.
And that does afford itself the opportunity for artists in our region to collaborate that maybe don't 100% fit into the same little buckets. And now your single party as well, you do have a couple openers on that bill.
Yeah,
So let's give them a quick shout out as well.
absolutely.
Yes, please.
You can talk. Tell them.
So we are very lucky to have our good friend Steve Luxton. He's opening up the show, and I think that his wife is going to sing with him as well. So we're really looking forward to that. That's going to be a treat. And in classic Hearts of Kin style, we can't have a good shindig without our little kindling Destiny Dawn starting the whole night off. Shelley's daughter, my niece. So she's gonna kind of kick things off with a couple of her original tunes.
And let's plug her just for a second, because Destiny Dawn she's such a talented singer-songwriter, and she just recorded her very first single at Lakewind Studios here in Cape Breton, and that's going to be released on the 8th of March. So that's a huge milestone for her. So she'll get to play that song. We did some backup harmonies for her as well.
Cool.
So actually the song is called John Prine on the Radio. So imagine.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yes. And it is just beautiful. So I can't wait for her to share that with people. So yeah, she's going to be kicking off the show with that. Yeah. So we're really excited. It's going to be a smorgasbord of music at the farm.
With the story behind it, the people involved, and the title of that song, I really picture an email going to Martin Hickey in the next little bit, and that being a central focus of one of the upcoming episodes of his show.
Yes,
possibility of that. Yes,
definitely.
Yeah, I will also extend an invitation to be part of my show, but that 100% sounds like a Martin Hickey story right there.
It does. Yes.
Yeah, I'll be looking for her name showing up on the voting list every week.
Yes, watch for her. Definitely. Watch for her. She's amazing. She's just amazing.
She is.
And for anyone that wants to go to your party, assuming that there are still even tickets left at the time that people are watching this, where should they be looking for those?
Yeah, you can go to, if you search, they're on Eventbrite. You can go directly to Eventbrite. You can go to the heartsofkin.com website to be directed there, or you can go to any of our social media pages, Hearts of Kin on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok.
We've got it plastered everywhere.
We do. It's all of the places.
Perfect. You made it nice and easy for everyone.
Yeah, we sure did. We sure did.
And now you are also one of the bands that maintains a healthy website for yourself too. Like it's up to date, and people can actually go there and find out things about the band.
This weekend we spent so much time.
We did. That's like a whole job in of itself, but it's worth it though. It keeps you legit. Like people want to know where to find everything all on one website. So it's definitely worth it.
And what if the social media pages disappear someday?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, exactly. And I keep threatening to make a website, and with the way things have been the last 6 months or so, I keep thinking like I should really consider having some type of backup of some of my content before it all disappears or something.
Yeah, not a terrible idea.
That's right. Absolutely.
And if people want to keep up with your tour dates, obviously they should follow you online to keep up with what's going on with the band. But I'm assuming that the website, even though it is hard to keep those things up to date, that tour dates would probably be available on there as well.
We have a page on our website called Upcoming Shows, and that links directly to our Bands in Town page. So you can go to either of those places, and we are pretty good at keeping them up to date. So take a look if you want to see a show. We'd love to see you guys out there.
Perfect. And now I'm wondering if anybody wants to support the band in other ways, because there is a lot of cool little things floating around out there that I see from time to time. Do you have a place for people to buy merch or physical copies of the debut?
Yes. All on our website, you'll see the shop there. We've got we've got a lot of beautiful Burn merch. So you've got tees, hoodies, and physical CDs, because who doesn't love a good physical CD?
I think there's some totes on there too.
However, on Monday, I don't know when this will air, but anyway, on Monday coming, we will have, actually that's today. It's supposed to be up today. New t-shirts for our single will be available.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool tees.
They might be there if we check now.
They might be there. We didn't. Today's Monday. Oh my goodness.
Amazing. I'll make sure I take enough time editing this that as of people watching this, that they're there anyway. So
Yes.
Perfect.
That would be awesome.
we'll call it a guarantee.
Yeah.
You're looking out for us. Thank you.
So I do hope to catch you at one of the shows, and I do have quite a busy schedule ahead for this year, but maybe we'll run into each other at ECMAs. I don't know.
There we go.
We're
Little
going.
Newfoundland excursion. So
We'll be there.
hopefully I slow down enough that I can enjoy some time over there myself. And
Yes.
if we do run into each other, maybe we'll take a few minutes to get back in front of a camera again.
Let's
Sure.
do it.
Yeah,
Always
game.
a pleasure.
Well, definitely don't wait another 2 years, and
No.
I'll be a little bit more disciplined to reach out in the future too.
Yeah, awesome.
Us
awesome.
too.
All right.
Thanks so much, Darcy.
Thanks again, and thanks for everyone watching.
Yeah.
Thanks, Darcy.
Nobody needs to show a baby how to cry. Don't need no flying school for all them birds up in the sky. It just comes natural. It just comes natural. Like a wild horse knows to run, like a bullet when the trigger pulls on the gun, like the grass and the weeds and the kids just grow. Lightning strikes, thunder just rolls, like a wildfire knows to burn, like a rhyme to a poet and a song to a bird. I don't tell it what to do, this heart it just gets up and loves you. There ain't no need to show a holy man a hymn. Don't need no swimming pool, all them fish know how to swim. It just comes natural. It just comes natural. Like a wild horse knows to run, like a bullet when the trigger pulls on the gun, like the grass and the weeds and the kids just grow. Lightning strikes, thunder just rolls, like a wildfire knows to burn, like a rhyme to a poet and a song to a bird. I don't tell it what to do, this heart just gets up and loves you. It just comes natural. It just comes natural. Like a wild horse knows to run, like a bullet when the trigger pulls on the gun, like the grass and the weeds and the kids just grow. Lightning strikes, thunder just rolls, like a wildfire knows to burn, like a rhyme to a poet and a song to a bird. I don't tell it what to do, this heart it just gets up and loves you. Baby, how to cry. This heart just gets up and loves you.